As you mentioned, not a lot of lockdown. The Mars, though, could lean a little bit more heavily on the Bane for that setup. If you get the Nightmare playoff, you still need to sort of hit a certain timing with those abilities, but NoPing could be thinking maybe the Bane helps out. I don't know that they're laning together. I think you still put the Bane with whoever uh, your carry might end up being, but later on down the line, once you break out of the laning stage, maybe the Bane can help the Mars be a bit more accurate onto more mobile or elusive heroes like the Void Spirit. But that is a pretty big if, because at the end of the day, you still do have to catch the Void, and especially if Gunner is going to be on that hero, it feels like he's got the mechanical skill to avoid so many of those scenarios. But a little bit more help now. NoPing with the Kunkka pickup, so they are starting to get a little bit more in the way of sort of lockdown and teamfight setup going with these last two picks.
And a hero that, when we talk about Dark Mago, we talk about the
Mm-hmm.
Tiny, the Bat Rider, the Kunkka. It's just on repeat. As well as a hero that we saw in that previous series, Undying, heavily value the ban against it whenever they wanted to go for that Zoo strategy, whenever they had the Chen picked up. So I wonder if this is a hole in the bans of four Zoomers, if this Kunkka is going to be as effective versus the Beastmaster as I really know that it can be. The matchup does flip on its head a little bit, where even though the Beastmaster is always giving you targets to cleave off of, if the Kunkka is in and you are getting slowed by those boards, if you're not actually able to approach, we could see another situation where four Zoomers now play the game of hold the Kunkka at arm's length, keep him as far away from everyone else as possible. And unfortunately, in that mid matchup, while you do have the Tidebringer harass, it doesn't really affect the Void Spirit too much, I want to say. I think Void Spirit is actually one of the few heroes that can trade in the waves pretty efficiently. So, again, Void Spirit getting those early game buffs, it's going to feel like he can punch back that little bit sooner. And a lineup where, even though you do have this Kunkka, you do have the X mark, doesn't hold a candle to Void Spirit. That didn't fix this issue. You're really now going to be playing heavily on the 3, 4, 5 members of four Zoomers as opposed to those direct core matchups.
And meanwhile, moving into the final phase of the bans, both sides really just keying in on carries. There's not a whole lot of flexibility left for either side. You see four Zoomers take out the Medusa, NoPing focusing in on the Slark, trying to take that out of Envy's hands. So at this point, I mean, it gets pretty straightforward here, right? Both teams need a carry hero. Four Zoomers follow up the Medusa ban with the TB, so still trying to take away some of those heroes who were really the leaders in the last patch, and NoPing kind of doing the same. The Luna ban coming out from them. So we have seen some new heroes get picked up here and there, but for the most part, the heroes that were a threat last patch still very much in the running this time around, but with most of them taken away, four Zoomers get their hands on the Sven.
Yeah, and Sven just got a little bit of a buff. The damage rescaled on that Great Cleave, seeing a lot of different teams value it, as well as decreasing that cast point only by 0.1 seconds, but still feeling like now this hero is going to be one of the contenders. And now, NoPing, they can't pick PL anymore. The other hero that has been thrown into the mix, are they going to go for the Troll Warlord? I've seen this hero picked up a few times. And again, another dead hero revived by the patch, by the slight buffs in his early game. I feel like it's got to be either the Monkey King or the Troll Warlord here for Angel. Of course, heroes that we didn't really get to see him play in that previous patch, because previous patch Angel was Luna, TB, Medusa. You
Yeah.
saw him play those three heroes every single game in every single series. They always prioritize picking that hero for him. But the Troll being back in the meta, that's where this early Beastmaster, you have to be careful whenever you slot in your offlaner that soon. Will they go for it is the question in the back of my mind, because although there weren't a lot of carries banned up until that last phase, having this Sven pickup beforehand, it does feel like four Zoomers have gotten exactly what they want, because the obvious picks were really PL, Sven, Ursa. Those were the easy ones to picture out, but now,
All right.
yeah, they're going to go for it. Okay,
Now
Troll
that
is back in the
does
game. It is back in the game.
it does give you a slight concern, sort of maybe pre BKB for Angel. The four Zoomers are going to have a lot of means to try and keep him at arm's length with the Roar, the stun from the Sven, the Void Spirit can hit him up with the Remnant. That can sort of eat through a lot of the duration if Angel is ever forced to pop that ult. But feels like the Troll is probably going to end up with a BKB at some point, and then the means by which you have to actually keep him under control are Beastmaster, and that's kind of it. So the Troll, you've got to get through that sort of initial stage, right, where a lot of that lockdown sort of gets in your way. But once you're there, as you said, Troll is back. The damage is going to be there, and four Zoomers are going to have to be ready to go toe-to-toe with it.
And that's where I am honestly really concerned for Zoomers because of that Beastmaster lane. I wonder if he's going to change up his build slightly, but Troll in the days of old, not even that old, was the matchup killer. Every single offlaner did not want to lane versus him. It just made everything feel terrible. And now slotting into this Beastmaster where everything feels terrible. The whirling axes are so effective versus your hero. It really kills any aggression coming out from you. Something that you thought your bases were covered with a lot of your core bands that we saw in the previous patch be very effective, but now Troll is playable, and not just any Troll lane. This is Troll Bane. This is going to be a really difficult lane for Moo. The only thing I'm worried about coming from 4Zoomers is, are we going to see a very similar situation that Vitaly was in on his Doom, where Doom versus Monkey King is not playable. These offlaners that used to be the big bullies of the patch are now getting pushed back by a lot of these early safe lane buffs, and we're going to see a big shift towards that safe lane now.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun matchup, really, for the off lane. Actually, on both sides, really. So, gonna have to just see who can fight and scrap their way to get a little bit more out of it. I don't think we're gonna see situations where either one of those offlaners will just straight up win, but that's sort of been the way that the game has gone, at least so far today. As you said, struggles have sort of come around for those offlane heroes. Get what you can, see what you can do from there. As Matthew getting across the river here, no detection down early, so he's providing a little bit of vision for his teammates. Now, if you're NoPing, the decision comes. Do you want to try and fight? Do you want to try and contest for an extra rune? And it looks like they do, and it looks like 4Zoomers really don't want to go for this just yet. They are sort of backing off a little bit, but they're maintaining a good formation. I do like this. Husky and Moo sort of sitting on the back line just in case. So, I mean, NoPing can push forward. They can get the rune. I don't think they get greedy enough to actually go for the fight. They'll just take the rune and back off, and 4Zoomers have to sort of respect that.
And that's where you do definitely see some shuffling going on here. Perfect ward from 4Zoomers, though. They like to place this ward in a lot of their games, especially when Gunner is on a melee mid laner. And Pandaboo might get bullied just a little bit, but Angel's right here.
Z-Freak? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Didn't see that troll. Excellent play from Angel, staying outside of the range of that ward as well, I believe, as he was sort of hanging out over by the ramp. So if you're NoPing, you get first blood. You do steal that rune that you were hoping for initially, and that was executed so well. Not just a sort of run-at-you play. They ran initially and then sort of laid the bait. Angel's able to come in, and now you see in the bottom lane, Matthew doesn't have the Janata, so he can't steal any money, but he's just trying to sort of give the Beastmaster a couple smacks on the backside and really just keep him out of the lane for a little while longer, while Angel is basically going to be able to take the first wave with no resistance.
And that's where this lane, the struggle lane, gets first blood. It's going to feel a little bit sad. Pandaboo just has so many more resources now that he's going to be able to fly out. Starting with boots on Bane, it's just going to feel abusive. And it's small buffs to this Troll Warlord. It's 15 damage on his whirling or ranged whirling axes, but that really feels like it's all that it takes, as well as now his ultimate scaling down cooldown-wise, and just a slight change up in his talent choices. It just feels like this hero is going to be incredibly annoying. And you see Pandaboo, he's out trading two heroes right now. This is what people could do with Bane before, except when you got that far up in the wave, you would die. You would get punished. It just feels like now maybe you need to wait on your offlane pick a little bit more, because if you lose too much of your lane, if you fall too far behind, I feel like we really are going to see this bottom lane start to be the feed lane, where Angel is going to walk away with that much more. It's really going to be up to Z-Freak and Moo to play the anti-Dota, I think, here, where you're going to see them try and pull waves. You're going to see them try and play around the fact that they really can't fight their enemies. Look at how much Moo takes just for walking up just that little bit too far.
And now Panda's hit level 2 as well, so the Nightmare is online. So, I mean, they're looking to go. Moo's going to get slowed up again. Can Panda get in range? Not quite. Oh, one more hit might have done the trick, but they're not able to get the kill. But Moo, at this point, there's no game. What can he do? He's out of everything. He has a hatchet, and that's it. So, like, he just has to sit here and wait. This is the problem. Every once in a while, sort of going for this Dom Helm build. We saw it work out spectacularly for the Lycan the last time, but if you're Moo and you're getting pressured up this much, if you go for the regen to try and stay in the lane a little bit longer, you are then delaying your progress towards that Dom Helm. So you really just are left in a situation where no matter what you pick, you're going to be sacrificing something.
And you even see Angel not showing in the wave, just playing the pressure Dota. He doesn't care if he's going to miss the last hit if Moo is not in any range or any opportunity to get any of these. Fortunately for them, Z-Freak is doing a decent job. He's trying to very efficiently trade out with those Illuminates. Problem being that Panda Boo's going to have that level 2 Brain Sap. It's going to do even more efficient trade things for him, and that's where there really is no recourse. I think Angel does need to aggro the wave back just a little bit here and did get a little bit out of hand, but
They want to push forward, though.
oh, Moo.
They get the slow. They
Moo
need the
without
vision,
boots.
though. There's
Yeah,
the brain
he's
sap.
gone.
Yeah. Z-Freak. I mean, he does his best, but the Illuminate at level 1 can only do so much. Panda takes a fair bit of damage, but he has the salve. He'll just fall back. He can heal himself up, and this lane is so rough for 4 Zoomers. It's just the struggle lane. As you said, there's really not a whole lot they can do right now. Moo just has to stick it out and try to find levels, but right now he's 2.5. Angel sitting a full level above him. Panda is even a level above him, so this is going to get just so uncomfortable for 4 Zoomers.
And that's really where the issue at large is, that even though you can efficiently win some of these trades with the Illuminate coming in from Z-Freak, you are constantly pushing into that troll. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage, and with now, I believe, both of your enemy laners having their boots up already, it just feels like if Angel ever gets a root, he's going to get on top of you. And Z-Freak, he's trying to be cheeky, but...
Dark Mego, meanwhile, he's making a play onto Gunner. You hit him with the X into the torrent. Gunner...
One more? He's got fairy.
Ooh, good fairy fire. Dark Mego, though.
Oh.
Wait.
There go
it
the
does
boots.
take the boots away. If he had waited maybe a second longer, the Tidebringer was coming back up, but that's a little bit too much trying to go for the style points there. He'd rather just take those boots out of the equation immediately. So, yeah, probably the smarter play. I'm not sure the Tidebringer cleave would have been enough off of the courier hit, so just get those boots out of there. And Gunner, at this point, you didn't kill him, but you forced him out of lane anyway. He has to walk back now to preserve that TP scroll to actually try and get back to the lane that much faster. So this is going so well for NoPing. They've won, or are winning, pretty much all of their lanes. Last hit-wise, they're on top of all the cores on the other side. They found a couple of kills, and I don't know. If you're 4 Zoomers, you need somebody to try and step up once this laning stage sort of comes to an end, but not immediately sure who's that's going to be if they can't find anything for themselves. As Husky getting jumped in on, Oscar doesn't want to commit for the spear, though, so they're not going to go all the way in, but now Envy, nice 2-man stun. Husky's coming in as well. The Purification could do some damage. And they're going to try and track down Matthew, but he's going to go invis again in just a moment. There is a sentry ward down, though, so he wouldn't be entirely safe. Does Envy have another stun up? 2 more seconds, but by this point, Matthew has run out of the range of the sentry, so they're not going to spot him. Husky, meanwhile, actually sticks around, and this may have been a little bit of a misplay on his part, but Envy's going to try to help him out. Stun comes through. Oscar locked down. Spear comes out, doesn't connect, and Husky, he should be able to walk away. Can Matthew really do this, even with a level 2 Janata? No, he's not going to chase.
Yeah, and that's where, in the top lane, that is the draw lane. Neither team can really get too aggressive. Whoever you go in with the spear is either going to get the Stormhammer happening in rebuttal, or they're going to get Heavenly Graced out. So there's not much they can do in that lane, which will mean that Envy does get a little bit of a free pass here. He will be able to farm up, but you're really just waiting for that arena timing. Once you get level 6 on the Mars, if he ever goes bottom, it's just Moo dead again, and
Yeah,
I think Moo
might be dying right now. Angel, though, not a lot of HP, so he is trying to back away. The axes... The axes don't do it, but I think the boar hit actually came in to finish him. Moo gets the credit for it, so Angel does get taken down. Moo is almost guaranteed to die here. Yeah, Dark Mego hits him up, but hey, you got a kill onto Angel there in a situation where, honestly, I'm not sure you should have gotten away with that one, but the boar slips in, last little hit, finishes Angel off, and it's not a great trade, but the fact that it is any sort of trade still has to be a silver lining for 4 Zoomers as they get their first kill on the board.
that, as well as you force no one to play versus the Void Spirit, who now gets to top off his levels a little bit, going for a slightly different build than we saw Brile go for. I believe he's got the Echo Saber queued up, but he's just going to continue to farm. I think this is the farming style of Void Spirit, where unless you get runes, there really isn't a reason for you to move outside of your lane, where we might see Dark Mego get a little bit more active, but that's the Dark Mego way. That's the Dark Mego style. He always makes very early rotations, and that's where Moo, he needs to be so careful, because there are so many heroes in this game that can make that very, very simple rotation onto him, where even once he hits level 6, he might force the troll to leave that lane, but it'll bring other people to then try and make the play on him. They really need to be careful with the amount of aggression that can come from the NoPing heroes, especially with their levels finally being topped off, getting the arena online, as well as Dark Mago, who's just topping off everything. He has so much farm. He's been so efficient and just been farming stacks across the map.
Yep. Working his way towards the early armlet for the Kunko. So really going to try and emphasize forcing those fights early. We mentioned that's sort of his play style, but with the armlet, it's going to be even harder for the Four Zoomers heroes to be immediately ready to deal with him. No one on their side sort of has that comparable level of strength right now. Envy, I mean, he's working on it, but that Echo Saber is still a bit over 1,000 gold away for him. So this is the timing that NoPing really want. They want to try to push the tempo right now while creating more space for Angel. As you see that Troll looking for the Maelstrom. So you are seeing the Troll Warlord go for a build that's going to be a little bit more fighting oriented. He'll be ready to go in most circumstances well before the Sven on the other side is going to sort of build himself up. So the NoPing really do seem to be hitting these earlier timings, or at least aiming for them. And if you're Four Zoomers, you don't have an immediate response. They just have to try and wait things out. They have to make sure they're not giving up too much. As Husky got clipped by the Tidebringer. Dark Mago, though, obviously doesn't know that, but that took out about half of his HP pretty casually. As Matthew sniped out there in that bottom lane, trying for the vision. Z-Freak with the level 3 Illuminate puts a lot of damage onto him, and then Moo is able to finish it off. Does now finally have that Dom Helm up and online. So Moo is going to start building himself up a little bit more. He's got the Helm, he's got the Roar. Maybe he can make some plays happen, but ET, as you mentioned, we see Angel sort of shoving off from this lane, but there will be others who come to challenge that Beastmaster now.
And that's where they put so much emphasis on Pandaboo getting his level 6. I think that's where they wanted to make a play there. But really, from NoPing, we need to see them start to make these plays, because Moo, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Bided his time, got his HUD. Now he's going to put pressure onto your tower. And if you're not going to come face him in an honest fight, then you need to be doing something elsewhere. That's something that the Troll absolutely excels at, just rolling buildings, being very objective focused, and something where he hasn't decided to make the rotation towards top just yet. They're actually going for another smoke play, but when the smoke play starts over here, it is a little bit awkward to then walk all the way bottom. And it's a very easy play if they can get that X-Torrent onto Moo, but you see how much infrastructure for Zoomers, they're placing everyone in this bottom lane. They're getting very ready for this fight to come. They want to rotate these heroes down here and then bring Oscar in with the TP scroll, but this is going to be quite a big fight.
I like this play
Here's
from
Moo.
Gunnar. Gunnar keeps setting that down, trying to scout it out. Oscar has to TP forward instead, but he does get the arena into the spear stun. Moo, though, gets the Heavenly Grace thrown it onto him. That sets up the Roar. Panda is going to get locked down. Can't turn around for the Fiend's Grip just yet. His teammates, though, still trying to fight this one out, but now Dark Mago stunned up by that hammer. He is trying to fall back to the tower. Tower is still standing, though, and that is going to be a rallying point for the NoPing lineup. Four Zoomers really wanted to take it down before this entire fight got underway, but without it, Gunnar's getting locked down. Panda turns around for the Fiend's Grip, realizing Four Zoomers were too far away. They didn't have anyone else to immediately follow it up, so Gunnar will fall. Dark Mago and Matthew, though, do get taken down in exchange. So at this point, it still looks like Four Zoomers will win this fight, but that is a bit of a heavy cost. But at the end of the day, it's a 2-for-1 with the tower being picked up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you weren't able to get that double stun out. You had the immediate Heavenly Grace coming out onto whoever got speared, so they did survive a little bit longer. Unfortunately, Gunnar just veered a little bit too far away from Husky. Husky had the spells. He would have been able to save his teammate, but you get a little bit too disconnected. Not known for the best cast range in the game. Omni Knight really needs to be up in his teammates' faces to be able to save them. But big winner of that fight is Moo. He was alive for all of those kills there. Same with Z-Freak. Both of those heroes really get to accelerate a little bit more forward now. And you did kill Dark Mago. You slowed down the Kunkka just a little bit. You do need to be careful, though. Moo's doing a good job, though. If he can start to encapsulate this side of the map, really forces opponents to play where really they don't want to play. They want to stick one hero down here, push it out, and then make plays elsewhere. That's where, fortunately for them, they were able to get that mid tower. Angel was very efficient with his time there, and that's something that the Troll is 100% able to do. You're always able to put very hard pressure on objectives like Roche, like their towers, where for Zoomers stay in one area of the map too long, they're going to get punished. But Husky.
Yeah, Husky is going to get jumped in on. Yep. Dark Mago comes in for the kill, and Matthew was able to reapply the track. The Omni did sort of hit himself up with the Heavenly Grace first, and then Matthew was able to reapply it. So they do get the kill for for Dark Mago and the track gold on top of it. That is going to be the big key for NoPing moving forward now. They can afford to take a trade, or like we saw down bot, maybe have a scenario where you give up a 1-for-2 trade going to your opponents, but the track gold is going to help to even things up on that front. So you see NoPing looking for it, both of the supports moving out with Oscar, but this is going to be a tough one for them to get. They really do need the enemy to come to them. They're probably going to pop on this smoke before they really get into full range, but Matthew is leading the charge. They've got it. There's going to be the track into the Fiend's Grip. Oscar waiting for the spear. Doesn't need to use it until the Fiend's Grip was coming to an end, and that is going to get them the kill. Oscar gets the credit, and another track kill, and now... Oh, never mind. Matthew has the pig pull, so... Not really sure if he needed to do that, but why not? It's a fun ride. Turn yourself into a pig. Move a little bit faster. And they are looking for this Satyr. It would be a nice little bit of extra gold, and they've got it. So they pick off and 100 gold on top of it. And a track kill, too.
Yeah, and they have to be careful because those will definitely add up. It's very fortunate that that smoke actually worked out because for now, NoPing are out. They've used 3 smokes already in this game. They've really been committed on trying to enable Pandaboo to find these pickoff plays, to find these really cheeky initiations. And if they kill Moo one more time, then it's going to be really bad for 4Zoomers. But I think Moo, you see him smoking up already to go bottom. He is not changing up his playstyle. He is going to continue to envelop this bottom lane. You see all of the wards already placed as well. I don't think he really expected to die there. I think it really was the breakneck play from NoPing. But unfortunately, I think they were aware of Z-Freak now TPing out of top. So Angel should be able to claim this top tower relatively easily while they were trying to make a play with Envy's Blink. This is a fresh Blink, and they see Dark Mago mid. Okay.
They're going to go for it. They get the sun down. The Roar will be there to follow it up. Oscar, though, coming in with the arena into the spear, but Gunner actually steps in front of it, so they are going to be able to avoid that for now. Dark Mago, though, still trying to fight his way through this. Can he stay alive? No, he can't. They will be able to bring him down. Envy gets the kill. I think that's going to be the end of the fight. You do see NoPing pulling back. Gunner, though, he's going to deep dive this one, but once he misses with the Remnant, yeah, they'll use it assimilate to sort of back it up a little bit. So it was worth a shot. If you hit that Remnant, your teammates are close enough behind you to follow it up, but once it misses, they pull back. Now they can focus on this tower. That mid-tier 1, even up the score in that middle lane, and with 5 heroes here, they really should get this tower. But first they want the fight. They jump onto Angel, stunning him up. Can they force out the ult? Wow, they kill him off before he gets the chance to. No ult from Angel. Oscar dies as well, and now they get the tower with 2 extra kills thrown on top, and see some tips coming out there at the end of that one as well.
Yeah, you see the toxic ones tip their opponents. The positive ones tip their allies. But you're right, they just get him on the way over there. I'm surprised that he let himself get initiated on like that. And you could say it's just a fantastic jump coming in from Envy, but Angel really should have known better, I think. Probably saying that they're going to commit on my tower. I shouldn't need to be too worried, but it's daytime, brother. You're going to be seen on the approach, and not getting your ulti off in that situation, you don't have the stats. Maybe if he went for the Sange first, he gets his ulti off there, but with this build, you are very thin up until you get either your BKB, your Sange and Yasha, or your Scotty components, and they definitely get punished for that. You lose your carry, you lose your offlaner, and you lose your mid T1. Pretty problematic for NoPing.
Yeah, a big sort of step in the wrong direction for them. But if you're 4Zoomers, I don't know. I mean, to a certain extent, I can kind of see why Angel gets caught out there. 4Zoomers just pivoted so quickly and so well-coordinatedly. That's definitely not a word, but I'm going to roll with it. Everybody just moves over for that fight right away. So Angel, maybe you're thinking, you know, one guy might come over to try and harass me. Instead, it's the whole team, and he wasn't ready for it. And now Dark Mago's not ready for this either. He's going to get jumped in on. Do they have the damage to bring him down, though? As of right now, it looks like the answer is no. Panda came in there with the Nightmare, trying to create a little bit of separation as the Ghost Ship does land onto 3. And NoPing, they're backing off for now. Panda, though, is going to get stunned up. Oscar is waiting to see if he wants to try and make a move, but that's too much damage. You weren't going to be able to jump in there to save your teammate's life. So instead, Panda basically has to be sacrificed. But now for 4Zoomers, you have a decent amount of control around the Roche pit. I'm not sure if they really want to go for it, but it's a threat that NoPing have to stick around just in case. That is the move. As Gunner, okay, gonna get jumped in on. Good play from Oscar. Do they have the damage? Dark Mago comes in. Husky, though, with the heal into the Heavenly Grace. They did get the X down, though, so Gunner is gonna get pulled back in. They even use the ult from Husky there. The Guardian Angel coming through. Gunner, though, just trying desperately to get away, and he does actually make it out. The Astral Step is going to clear him out, but Oscar faster on the draw. Blinks forward, spears in, gets the kill. Gunner taken down. And now if you're 4Zoomers, do you want to take a fight without your Void Spirit? Envy is here, but there's no ult for 45. You just be looking at him to blink in and get that stun, but Dark Mago, he's sort of too far back. His reinforcements can't save him right now. The Roar comes in just to make sure he's not going anywhere, and NoPing They're just a step too far back in that situation. Now Angel's going to get hit as well. He's going to get knocked back there by Z-Freak, but Panda comes in, dropping the Fiend's Grip. Envy's going to get locked down. There's the Heavenly Grace, though, to try and get him out, but Oscar comes in, drops the spear, gets the stun, but Sven, he's still got a lot of HP here. He's trying to fight. Angel is going to be forced to pop the Battle Trance. Can he get this kill? I'm not sure he has the damage, but eventually they will make it through Envy. The problem is, now everyone has to retreat. Panda has no HP. Oscar just got pushed up onto the high ground. He's going to try to make it out of here with the Blink Dagger, and he's actually going to make it out. Neither Husky nor Z-Freak can track him down, so NoPing will extract some sort of toll there, getting Envy, but just feels like they're still losing quite a bit in this. At least this time they keep Angel alive, but both Dark Mago and Matthew being taken out.
And really, it feels like they shouldn't be able to take that fight. You take a look at 4Zoomers dominating vision. They see absolutely everyone, but it was the slight moment where they had that center creep scouting out for the kill onto Dark Mago, but committed for that stun, wasn't able to chain up to Angel very cleanly, gets the ulti off, gets to wait very long, but it also allows Pandabu the situation where he gets that Fiend's Grip, he forces that very early Heavenly Grace, and you run out of gas. A situation they didn't even need to fight into there. After they got the Dark Mago kill, they could have left. They didn't have God Strength for another 30 seconds. Envy doesn't want to use that God Strength on the end of a fight. He would rather hold on to it as long as possible. And now,
jump in mid. They've got Envy hit up. Husky's coming in, though, but that arena keeps him away.
Arena.
Big plays from Oscar. I'm not sure he knew Husky was there when he dropped it down, but it's still going to work out in their favor. Envy's dead. Husky now gets pulled in by the X, and he's just dead. Even with the Heavenly Grace on himself, he cannot get away. That was massive from Oscar, and now we've seen 2 or 3 times from both teams. Their heroes are just 1 or 2 steps too far forward in that middle lane. That mid lane really is turning into a bit of a trap on both sides, but NoPing find the kills, and now they're going in for Roshan. They're getting through it pretty quickly with the armor reduction, so I don't think 4Zoomers can really mount any sort of move to contest it.
And that was the jump with Gunner bottom, with really everyone bottom on the 4Zoomer side. They were getting set up to put pressure on this tower. Unfortunately, all of their vision gets dewarded as soon as they decide to go into that pit. And another thing that the troll is very adept at, you immediately decide to take an objective, and then fervor is just too strong. You take it so quickly, and that's where we will start to see if Envy can't really build a lead up on himself, either through the BKB, through the Daedalus, you lose this matchup every single day of the week. As soon as Angel gets either a BKB or a Basher, the Sven can no longer fight up against you one-on-one. That's where we would see every single time the God Strength gets committed, you see immediately getting ulted out by the troll, and then you die. There is no way to work around this matchup aside from either bursting Angel at the beginning or having the tools to kite after that fight. And that's where 4Zoomers, they need to get aggressive before that point really happens, but Angel with the Aegis now has so much free space to work with. Oscar be a good target.
They're going to jump in. He had bottled up a DD rune. His Gunner actually passed him the bottle, so they make the jump. They've got Oscar. Envy, though, still with the God Strength, still with the DD, looking for another target. Can they catch up to anyone else? They do sort of see Panda. And there's going to be the jump, but oh my goodness, that Nightmare. Perfectly timed from Panda. He's buying time. He's looking for the TP. Does Moo go for the ult? No. And Envy, that really, I mean, it looked kind of like it was in time. Apparently it wasn't, so they're going to be able to get Panda away. That's a bit of a missed opportunity for 4Zoomers. And now Angel's pushing pretty aggressively forward. He does have the 2 lives, but just needs to make sure he doesn't outrun his own backup. He is really pushing for this one. You do have Dark Mako sort of coming in from behind, though, so Angel feels confident enough to push his way forward. They're looking for Gunner. They can't quite lock him down just yet. Angel, though, you do not want to lose your Aegis here. And that is going to force out the ult. That maybe isn't the most efficient play in the world, but again, if you lose the Aegis on the steps of the ramp there to some neutral creeps, you're going to look a little bit silly. So if you're NoPing, that ult's not on the longest cooldown in the world. You didn't force a fight, but you don't lose too much either. And at this point, Matthew, I mean, he sees these creeps, so you got to assume that well, Moo is nearby. But even if you can't spot him, you could at least try and get a little bit of gold. But it is an ancient black dragon. It is not easy for them to just punch through immediately. So Dragon gets away, Moo gets out as well. But now if you're NoPing, you do have a lot of control you could set up in this north side jungle.
And really isn't the biggest deal anymore, because Battle Trance, it is a scaling cooldown now. It is going to be up in really only 30 seconds here, and that's where this hero might start to feel a little bit broken, especially once you hit that level 18 on the Troll Warlord. might need to be changed just a little bit. I know they just changed it, but it just means that you can use this battle trance a lot more effectively and a lot more efficiently across the map. We haven't seen Angel, probably not because he's gone for that Battle Fury build, farm any huge stacks with that cooldown being as low as it can be, but now you have this Scotty. The kite potential is there. These 4-zoomer team fights need to be either over instantly or with the idea of we are going to kite back, we are going to use our blinding lights and our remnants as defensively as possible, because right now, unless you are killing somebody with this fen jump, even though this Daedalus is fantastic, you are trapped, you are going to have to play versus the kite potential, and you are still playing into NoPing spells. Up until we see the BKB built up on this fen, there is an opportunity for NoPing to kite you out in these fights, especially with the Bane, where Husky has to be on point. If he is not in position to get these Heavenly Graces off, we've already seen Envy die once in a position where he's just playing away from his teammates, and here we go again. They see two. Husky.
And there's Oscar in for the stun.
Oh.
Envy, though, damn, just turns on him, pops the God Strength, and I mean, Oscar, it's a good initiation. He just wasn't ready for that much damage. He is down, and now, without your Mars, yeah, the rest of NoPing don't really know if they want to take this. They're trying to back themselves away, but Envy blinking forward. Stun onto Matthew, going to be able to take down that, well, take down that secondary target as they do get the Bounty Hunter, but going after him means that the rest of NoPing should be able to make it out, but at this point, you see 4-zoomers, they are immediately trying to take advantage of this. They find those kills. You see Envy making his way into the west side jungle. They've got eyes on that tier 2 tower down bot. They're trying to push that down as well. So the second NoPing give any ground whatsoever, you see 4-zoomers trying to make the most of it, but they're not going to commit entirely. You see Envy sort of backing away from that tower, still a little bit wary of a response from the NoPing side.
Yeah, and that's where, very similar to Husky, yeah, Angel he's trying to go forward, actually.
He wants to use that Aegis. It's only got about 15 seconds left, so if he could get into a fight right now, well, that would be pretty good for him, but 4-zoomers won't take the bait. Smoke play out from NoPing, though. They really do want this. They are going to go for it. They have eyes on Gunner. Oscar needs to blink in, though, and now that Aegis has timed out. So this is going to get a little complicated, but they make the jump. There's the Spear Stun to start it off. They need further lockdown, though. They get the Torrent down. Panda is going to make his move, though. Actually dropping the Fiend's Grip onto Envy, but Husky was right next to him. Hits him up with that Grace, and this fight's getting a little bit awkward. NoPing may have missed their moment to strike, and you do see them backing off.
And that's where 15 seconds, that's exactly what they need to do. 4-zoomers will either kill you instantly or be full retreat, and that's where they're going to look for that counter initiation. And a moment where NoPing, they still have to be careful. They have to value how strong this Sven is, and that's why as soon as the God String is up, they're looking for more picks here. And tried to say it before, but Oscar, he needs to be a little bit closer to his Kunkka. Their best defensive tool right now versus this Sven is the Heaven's Halberd built up by this Kunkka, or it's going to be those Nightmares coming from Panda Boo.
Oh,
they can't play this split, but Oscar, how many crits does Envy get?
Oh, not dead yet. Gets into the trees. Actually, that cuts off Moo's line of sight, so he will survive. Angel, that's a very aggressive TP forward. And he may end up regretting that a little bit. He's going to get jumped in on. No BKB for him, but Oscar comes back in, dropping down the arena. They've trapped up Gunner, but the problem is Oscar is dead, and now Dark Mako actually got hit by that stun. Envy clips him, and this is turning into a horrible fight, but Angel was at least able to get the ult off, so he's not dead just yet. Trying to go toe-to-toe with that Sven. They've got the Ghost Ship in there to help out. Maybe they can turn it, but they just don't have the damage. Dark Mako now is going to get stunned up. Moo got the kill onto Angel. The Kunkka is desperately trying to get back in, toggling up that armlet, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Remnant pulls him back. Moo finds the kill, and none of those heroes have buyback. All three of them are down, and they are short on that gold. Matthew will now join them. And 4-zoomers, I mean, I'm not sure they realized just what an opportunity had fallen into their lap. Initially, they're just going for the kill onto the Mars, and that turns into 4 kills and a chance to push the high ground because NoPing tried to escalate it.
And this is just going to be a free racks. I don't think there's any rebuttal here. Oscar, he felt like he needed to blink in on absolutely 0 HP. And Panda Boo, okay, after the fact, they're just going to go now onto mid, I think.
They do need the tier 2 first, but...
Okay, they're splitting up.
Yeah. Actually, they couldn't even rotate bottom either. There's tier 2s in both lanes, so that is going to be the sort of saving grace for the NoPing side. They can't lose anything more than that 1 lane of racks, but that is a pretty sizable swing. 4-zoomers jump out to a 6k net worth lead, so I don't know. They were trying to sort of blow that fight up into a little bit more. Once Oscar gets away from Moo initially, you're thinking maybe we have a chance, but it just feels like right now that setup that they had it wasn't enough damage. I think they need everyone to sort of hit at the same time if you're trying to go in on to Envy, because at this point, he doesn't have a lot in the way of defensive items, but that God Strength was seriously just allowing him to deal damage through it and not really care, and now he's got the Satanic, so it's going to be even harder to try and get through to that Sven.
And that's where you take a look at Angel and playing versus this Keeper of the Light. I think he's really undervalued his BKB in this game, going for these other items a little bit sooner. And once he has what he has in his quick buy, he will be able to kill this Sven. Once he has Basher BKB, that's where the matchup then becomes Envy needs to be careful. Envy needs to be heavenly graced every single fight, and that gives you more opportunities to play on the heroes like the Coddle, like the Beastmaster, where you can get those multiple engagements going. But until then, for Zoomers, they are in the driver's seat. They are going to be able to put as much pressure as they want onto you. And if you're not careful, you will just start the feed train. That's where NoPing, they're playing around their vision, but you send the Hod creep up, and you have all the vision.
Oh, there we go. Illuminate will finish him off. Zfree gets the kill. Now they're looking for more. Angel trying to get himself away. I don't think Envy can catch up to him just yet, but he is going to throw the stun out onto Dark Mago. Do they really want to go for this? This feels maybe a little too ambitious at this moment in time, and yeah, they're not going to go all the way in for it. It's something that they can threaten, but I think NoPing realized that fight would get too big, but now they spotted out Angel mid. Envy already popped the God Strength. He wants to go in. There's going to be the stun. Angel's in some serious trouble. Can they keep him alive? No, they can't. Angel already down. Oscar now trapped up inside of his own arena, surrounded by all 5 enemy heroes, and Envy just blows up everyone. Double kill for the Sven. Buyback still not in a great spot.
Yeah, they call it.
Okay, just
wow.
the GG coming out. That's just a rapid swing in momentum. I mean, NoPing, all of what? 6-7 minutes ago had a net worth lead in the 2 to 3k range, and then we're done. Pre-30 minutes, 4 Zoomers just turn it on, and NoPing were not ready for it.
Yeah, and I really think that they had a winning draft. They had some winning execution plays, but really the wild card was that Omni Knight. It was that hero that just ruined every single play that Oscar decided to go for. And we really saw him start to fall behind, start to lack. And then I think the 2 instances where Angel was just caught completely off guard, where he got stuck in a fight he didn't want to be in, I think NoPing really misused their first Aegis. I think they could have taken a little bit slower, a little bit lower. Instead, they made these wide sweeping rotations that you immediately got counter ganked on. You got counter smoked time and time again. And NoPing, they used 3 smokes in the first 15 minutes of the game. Your plays are going to stop happening when you use your smokes that aggressively. And really, I think out of those 3 smokes, maybe they got 2 kills, and then you give away the entire mid game. It was just a little bit too soon coming from them, where they really could have snowballed their lanes further if they were able to play just a little bit more concise, a little bit closer together. They had the items to deal with the aggression coming in from 4 Zoomers. I think really Eternal Envy kind of put the team on his back this time around. He went for the aggressive item build. He didn't get punished for it. I don't think there was ever a situation where his initiation got stopped or got held up by this Kunkka, who itemized to directly counter you. And really, once he itemizes in that direction, you don't have the damage coming from the Kunkka. Everything is going to be on Angel, and he really started to fall behind too. Really, just those 2 deaths, and then suddenly you go for the Scotty Sanjanyasha build, and you don't have damage to deal with the Sven. I think they really undervalued what they needed to go for item-wise, as well as those early game misplays just gave 4 Zoomers a little bit too much of a free pass, as well as this Omni Knight actually being incredibly valuable versus the Bane. I think they really didn't know what they were getting into when they started with this Bane Bounty Hunter opener. I think this Omni was the perfect answer.
It just works so well. Like, you go in, you try to Fiend's Grip, it's gone. You try to jump in onto him with the spear into the arena play, sure, you get the initial impact damage, but then that's gone too. So Husky's just there every time to really break up that play, and Moo ends that game 7-3-12. So really, talked about the fact that his lane did not go fantastically early on, felt like he was giving up a lot to Angel, but Moo, in that off-lane position, he's so confident, he knows, yeah, sure, I fell behind early, but he's able to get the most out of that. He still gets up that blink, gets up that Helm of the Overlord, and he's still capable of doing exactly what his team needed him to do to maintain control over those fights. So NoPing's early momentum kind of peters out. 4 Zoomers just responding perfectly, both in terms of execution and in terms of draft, and we see the results. They take game 1 in a situation where they were behind net worth and experience-wise for maybe 3/4 of that match, I would say. So very well done by them, and by NoPing maybe kicking themselves a little bit here. A couple of mistakes plus good play from the other side really cost them an opportunity.
Yeah, and now I'm interested to see what NoPing is going to value because again, for Zoomers, they went for first pick on purpose. So I wonder how these drafts are now going to shape up because NoPing, and you look at the win probability, it is a cliff. They dropped off so quickly where NoPing were very steadily gaining an advantage, and then suddenly nothing. Everything went for Zoomer's way. So I don't think they need to change up too much to necessarily force this to a game three, but they need to have a little bit of a better idea. They need to be more aware, I think. This Coddle Omni was just a little bit too effective at kiting your cores.
Mm-hmm. Just great play from Husky. He knows where he needs to be. He needs to be close enough that he can heal teammates, but far enough away where NoPing don't manage to jump onto the backline. So very nicely played by the 4Zoomer side. They take a 1-0 lead in the series, looking now for that 2-0 sweep. Game 2 is going to be coming up in just a little bit, but before we hop into that break, we do have a word from our sponsor, Mate Mate. Mate Mate, again, has been putting together some sponsorship opportunities for multiple events here in NA and SA, and of course in the Southeast Asian region as well. So big shout out to them for trying to sort of get involved in that Dota scene. You can purchase your Mate Mate at bts.gg/Mate Mate. I do believe we also have a banner down below next to the loot bet one if you're interested in that. You can use code BTSDOTA to get 15% off of your order, free international shipping, and if you use that code as well, you are entered into Mate Mate's grand prize giveaway. We're giving out some gaming chairs, PC tower from Aftershock Gaming, some Razer keyboard and mouse combo bundles. So you buy yourself some Mate Mate, you get a discount, you get free shipping to you pretty much anywhere in the world, and you have a chance to win some pretty cool stuff to upgrade your setup. So check that out, bts.gg/Mate Mate. That code, once again, is BTSDOTA. Prize winner will be drawn on the 23rd. I am supposed to point that one out. So 23rd is when that's going to be going down, the day after this event comes to an end. So get some Mate Mate, watch some cool Dota, potentially win awesome prizes. There's really no reason not to if you think about it. So thank you to Mate Mate, and we will be moving along now. Game 2 between 4Zoomers and NoPing coming your way in just a few minutes.